5 minutes to tell you about the skirmish that took place here, because this is a Revolutionary War site, so we're here to talk about the Revolutionary War. So, Tim?
Okay, so who is in the back? Joseph, can you stand in the doorway, please? So, December of 1781, there's a skirmish here. One patriot is killed, Lyons Pangborn, Linus, and the second one, Sylvester Tilton, is badly wounded. And where Joseph is standing is where the blood of the patriots were being nursed after the battle. So there's a little problem with that. Not that any of us can't handle multiple facts at the same time. This church was probably not built till 1867. Some wood was reused, but one of the gentlemen who used to work with us about 10 years ago had a stroke and he fell, and he actually did bleed there. So there is some blood. So in the American Revolution, particularly in now what's Ocean County, was a civil war. Patriots, Loyalists, Quakers. Am I done yet? No, I'm still going. And they had a bitter civil war, and they knew each other, and so each of the little hamlets, towns, so Manahawkin was a patriot town, Barnegat was a Quaker town, Cedar Bridge, which was a town, was for the Loyalists. Tuckerton was technically a Quaker town, but it was really a Loyalist town. The Burlington militia there never musters during the entire war. It's very bitter. The Manahawkin militia, which Reuben Randolph, his house, the beginnings of his house and the beginning of the Thomas Shin funeral home across the road, he had a tavern right over here with his nice cream parlor. He had the stone store. He was an entrepreneur, right? He was the head of Company 5 of the 2nd Monmouth Militia. So he had 10 engagements. That's 5, and that's 5 more. He had 10 engagements with John Bacon and the Loyalists. How many times does anybody think the Patriots won out of 10 encounters? 0. Who said 0? Yes, you must have been to the lecture before. That's cheating, okay? They lose all the time. There's a poem written by a person from the Pinelands, and it says, it's a song, and it goes, the poor Manahawkin Patriots never win a battle in the whole war. So anyway, so they hear that Bacon is coming from Cedar Bridge, down Cedar Bridge Road, which is where Southern Regional High School and Middle School are, and they were going to walk, and they were going to go down to go to Tuckerton, West Creek, wherever down there, Middle of the Shore, whatever name you want to use. So he got word of this. They're sitting in the tavern, and they're making their plans. They're later criticized by the Burlington militia because they do all their planning in a bar, but bars and churches are the only places for people to gather. There was no internet, there was no TV or anything, right? So he posts sentries on both sides of the church. They fall asleep. Bacon and his so-called 50 men are coming down. They're bayonets, which kind of indicates they weren't so irregular, right? It makes a noise, the two guys wake up, they start fighting. They fight from here all the way down to Mill Creek. As I said, Lyons Pangborn is killed. We don't have proof that he's buried here, but it's logical. Sylvester Tilton gets a wound in his shoulder. He passes if this was a younger crowd and we had more time, I could tell you the story about how he passes the silk scarf through and it leaves a scar, but he knew the person who shot him. And he actually gets his revenge 10 years after the Revolutionary War up in Tinton Falls. So it's very bitter and very, very personal conflict. And so this is one of the skirmishes that we'll be making a movie about for the National Park Service, and we'll be doing a more permanent marker here. And did I make it? I made it. Okay, there you go.